the Lord. Got it by the sight of the Lord. Even though I took the long route, Jesus brought me out, man, I'm walking right through the door. I put that on God, I'ma do it. I put that on God, I'ma do it. I put that on God, I'ma do it. And I was so reckless, and once was so foolish. I put that on God, I'ma do it. I put that on God, I'ma do it. I put that on God, I'ma do it. And I'ma keep moving, the spirits will fluid.
My family is not only here, but all of my family is from here. This is where the roots are. So as I get ready to kind of launch into my destiny, God would send me back home to say to my kinfolk, this is what God has done with your boy. I was down, but he lifted me up. 23 years ago, I was coming out of college, finna go play pro football. And I had everything in front of me, and God interrupted that chase, that pursuit. And he said, listen to this, football ain't bad. And there's some other people I'm gonna let go play football, but you, I got something else for you. Times of challenge in communities that are oppressed, one of the things that rises many times is this false notion that God is going to first come and make life easy for us. His first move, remember, that's why part of the people missed Jesus when he showed up. They was like, we got Rome and they messing with us. Big bro, come get him. Get him off our back. And he's like, I got a different kingdom I'm trying to set up. So what if God says, I'm not trying to fix the chaos. I really just want to fix y'all. So that you can be fixed in the midst of the chaos, so that the world that's trembling and shaking everywhere can have something solid to stand on when they look at our lives. He ain't trying to say, I just want you to come to church on Sunday in the Bible study. Yeah, I want you to live this. He says, I am trying to reach people through your life. I got something in you I've deposited, and I want a return on my investment, says God.
But things changed when Christ came. Now my past can't hold me. Yep, God told me that this world didn't owe me, but he also showed me that this world didn't know me. Slowly, steady on my grind, kinda heavy. They totaled out my Chevy. Jesus got me in another Chevy, like water at the levee, man. The blessing broke the throne. Now we platform pushing all the nation, man. It's on. It's your boy PLA, man. Just taking a morning walk, man, out here in this Louisiana, man. I gotta have a hood on because the mosquitoes out early. It's only, 8 o'clock this morning, man. It's already warm out here. Beautiful, kind of dusky day. Alexandria, Louisiana, man. The Lord got your boy on one. We've been campaigning the last 2 days. We touched down and got active. And the King been blessing our steps. Pray for us. Support the campaign. Tap in. God bless.
Talk about this all the time about a nonprofit meeting because the kids didn't have no direction, nothing. They don't know how to be young ladies, women with young women with purpose.
Amen.
And I'm serious. And every Tuesday I would pull them kids out of PT, and we would sit down and I would teach them etiquette skills. I would tell them that beautiful, we'll do different things to build their self-esteem. I did this, and it's something that's been still in me that I wanted to just kind of do in my ministry. So it's like everything you're saying that God has given you,
is already in you because He's giving it to us. Because He says you can't do none of this by yourself,
exactly.
And then you can't kind of try to convince people to feel like this.
Right.
You already feel like this, and all you do is saying, "Dang it, that's the same thing He's saying to me." We want to be part of Him elevating a group of people across the country.
That's right.
Who understand He's the key, and they have an individual purpose for Him. I don't know what it is. I'm living out mine to help you get in your lane, but you got something He got for you to do, and you got to return to Him so you can get that plan and move forward. So that's kind of the heartbeat of what God is raising up, man. So it's like now, like the church is waiting. That's what the church built for. So it's gonna be a church that's already waiting on this mission to come forward because we're gonna be evangelists.
The fields are plentiful, man.
So we saying throw us in. If y'all see that area over there that we can fit in that area, throw us as the grenade first. Then y'all come in. There it is.
Clear the way. I got you.
At Kinko's right now, getting some flyers printed out because we are about out. We're passing out CDs, flyers, brochures, and we need some more for the event tomorrow in Jackson, Mississippi. So that's what's going on out here grinding. And battery life. Let's talk about battery life. Everything. It is a natural thing, but you know it's a spiritual thing. You don't say can't get to the king. You don't run out of gas. And you're gonna be not able to move as free as you want to. You're gonna have to pull over. You're gonna have to pull over and get plugged in. Mississippi, bro. We are in Mississippi.
Slid in on a banana peel.
Oh, on a banana peel though.
Slid in. Here we go. I'm not just here looking though.
No, we're working. We moving. We got 2 radio station interviews today and 3 pop-up ministry things to do and a music video to record. This is all before 5 o'clock. And still a city to scope out and map for the summer tour. So yeah, all the nation, baby, we're working.
We working, man.
Hey, whoa, woo. Put it down, man.
What's up, all the nation at WPBQ?
Hello, hi everyone. How are you today? Amen. Doing well. I have Pastor Larry Austin here with me, as you said, and Walter Ray.
Hey, man.
Amen.
Hey, we'll be glad to be here. First of all, Jackson, thanks for having us.
So
glad
excited.
to be in the building. Amen.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, so what we're here for today is we have this movement. Pastor Larry had this vision, and it's called All In Nation, and it is, I think he can tell you a little bit more about it than me. Pastor Larry, go ahead and talk.
Well, I mean, All In Nation, I mean, you just heard our sis just kind of give you her gift, right? And All In Nation is a group of people who say, man, God has called us, He's equipped us, He's gifted us artistically. And this world sometimes won't come to hear the preacher, but they'll come and listen to the rapper, the poet, the singer. And so God has just put His gift in us that we might take it out. And so All In Nation says all these different gifts coming together to put all of these gifts in the gumbo pot to say, Christ, stir up something for this world that we might go out into the community. Not to sell concert tickets, but we want to go to the hurt. We want to go to the broken and bring these gifts to bear. Just to really say God has not forgotten about us. God loves His people. And here we are just to bear witness to that truth. And so that's what we on, man. We all the way. I'm from Oakland, California. And we on a missionary journey. My man Walter Ray, he from Michigan. He'll tell you a little bit more about himself as well. Tap in. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Amen.
Yeah, I'm Walter Ray Hudson. I'm a part of All In Nation. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Lived in Detroit and some other areas in Michigan, and hooked up with my partner here over in California. And we've been on the road since Sunday. We both landed in Alexandria, Louisiana. He started talking about gumbo, made me start thinking about some of that food we had over in Louisiana the past few days. And we just drove in tonight. After we leave the radio station, we got some ministry that we're planning to do, hitting the block and doing some ministry.
We're gonna go out. We're gonna go over to Poindexter Park and minister to some of the homeless population there. And then we have also another radio interview. And then we're gonna head over to Tougaloo College, and we're gonna do a pop-up concert and do some ministry there, probably around dinner time, about 5 p.m. But you know, I met Pastor Larry when I ventured out, and God sent me out with my ministry, with my music, when I was in Oakland, California last April. And he's such a great guy. He has a great vision, and he really has a heart for the people and for youth, which is really needed in this day and age. The children, the youth, the young adults, they need something that they can relate to. And music is so universal, and for us to be able to take the gospel and convey it in a way that God is giving revelation and He's giving instruction and commands for this next generation, and them to be able to relate to it, I think it's an awesome gift. And we're not trying to push it into the church. Pastor Lever is a pastor, and this is a part of his ministry, is what he does, and I think it's so cool. And I was blessed to meet him and see that we have a pastor here who has a heart for hip hop as well and can minister to another nation.
Yeah, and I just think God is rebranding what the church needs to look like in this day and time. There's a new generation that didn't grow up with grandma going to church every Sunday, and so Christ is still the same though you may not have had the context. And so God is just distilling His truth. He don't care who He uses or what genre He needs to come into. He'll make Himself. I know we say Paul say that, but that's really Jesus becoming all things to all men. So He's using the gift of rap music that we might go into the hurt places where rap can go. Again, as I say, that the pastor can't go. If I show up with the suit tie on as the pastor, they already know who I am in their mind, right? But if I show up just me, how I live every day, right, and talk how I talk and just like relate to them in that communicative way, like God has been using. So this started for me when I went into juvenile hall. I was a pastor, full-time salary, wasn't rapping no more, right? But I went to the juvenile hall that day, and I wasn't even supposed to talk. I was just going to watch the chaplain, see how things go, to set up my schedule. And when I went in there, man, the chaplain said, "Hey, I got to meet some people at the gate. I'm going to just let you lead the study." Nothing to say, but I had something to say. An hour and a half passed by. The guard was knocking on the window saying, "Hey, young brother, you got 5 minutes, like wrap it up." And in that moment, those young brothers was like, oh, like they didn't want me to leave. And I felt at the same time like I didn't want to leave. Getting in the car, the Lord was like who's going to pastor them? And He wasn't saying like a youth church. He was saying the people who come from there. You see where they're headed. I was working at a parole center, so I saw the adult population coming out of prison after doing 20 years. I'm a chaplain at juvenile hall, seeing young people going into the system. And He says, now you see where they coming from and where they headed if we don't intervene. And so come out of the building, brother. Like the church gotta go be the church. Don't invite them to church. You waiting on them to come to you. They ain't looking for you. You got to be on a mission looking for them. And so all in nation was to say, let me pick up my gift. Because listen to me, I'm 45 years old. I'm supposed to be through rapping. But God sees that gift and said, man, you still got all that in you with the wisdom. Now is the time to go forward. And so God opened the door, man, and gave me the holy boldness to go forward. And when I went forward in His name, then I started seeing other people who had the same passion. That's how I met Mr. It's just like God began to put people in the path who was feeling the same way. Now we just want to go around the country and just fan a flame for the gospel, to go into the hurt. And we're not saying you're going to get out of the hurt. I'm not promising millions of dollars. God go fix everything. I'm promising Christ will come right where you are. Never change your job, never change your zip code or address. He'll meet you right there and give you the joy that will sustain you. That I want to bring that back to the hood. And so that's what our mission is about.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you recording?
Yes, sir.
Oh, what's up?
Organic missionary trip. We just out here. Some of this stuff just getting set up. 2 days coming. It's just falling into place. And it's just God, His evidence, man. We just left the radio station, the second radio station interview. The pastor was the radio host, and we was on a, not even gospel show, it's an old school music show. And the gospel got put in there, and God just opened the pathway for us. So we just giving Him praise, man, because we doing all kind of stuff right now to make this thing happen. But at the helm of it all is God, keeping all of the pieces moving in His direction. So we grateful that it's not as chaotic as it might feel, but it is moving according to God's will and plan. So we give Him praise for His faithfulness.
This is what the back of our car looks like right now. It's full of speakers and generators and clothes and stuff. Like, yeah, this is what we're doing right now. We're grinding, and this is what it takes. We're on our way to the park to minister to the homeless. So that's what's up.
Drove up to Jackson, Mississippi with my sis, Miss Tiffany. We did 2 radio station interviews that morning. And some connections came out of those radio station interviews. Like, they wound up playing my song, Something About Him, on the old school hour. It wasn't even a gospel show. Like, God got us on the lunchtime show, if you will, where people are tuning in, listening to something else, but then they play that something about it that, it got that don't push me because I'm close to it. Got that on it. So over 300,000 people listening. And so God introduced us to the city, and then we went to, from the 2 radio station interviews, we went over to I forget the name of the park, but one of the parks out there in Jackson, Mississippi, there's a homeless outreach that happens. Shout out to my girl, Sister Sway. She shot the video for us when we was in Mississippi with Miss Tiff, but there was a homeless outreach we did, and it was a providential lesson for us. We had to rent a sound system. There was some stuff that the Guitar Center left out of the sound system we rented. So we show up to the park setting up, we missing chords, and I'm not in that city, so I'm running around trying to find the chords we need, buying them at the store. So it take me about an extra 30-40 minutes, and then the sound still ain't right. So we had a event at Tougaloo College campus. So we left, or we were about to leave the homeless park, having done nothing but tried to set up the sound. And we said we at least got to go over, apologize to the people. So we walk over there, me, Miss Tiffany, and my folks, Walter Ray from Michigan, part of the All In Nation team. And in our apology, I wound up saying, well, I got to at least give y'all a verse.
Way is the path or the journey or the course that God describes for his people. One day I heard his voice. My eyes got moist, tasted glory down in my soul. I got intimate with the king that made your boy whole. New goals in life. Loyalty to Christ. Teamed up with my wife to lead our kids in the light, and then step into the night to preach the gospel, pray for thunderclaps. No man knows the hour or the day, but Jesus coming back. And he ain't having none of that. Sinful man without excuse. The heavens declare the glory of the Lord. My beating heart is proof.
Come on
been
now.
set loose, made to live for the master's purpose.
Yeah!
My life is yours. May it bring worship.
Amen. Amen. Upon every part. Amen. Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the prize, baby.
Thank you, Lord.
Keep your eye on the prize.
Bless you, Lord.
Keep your eye on the prize. God is good.
And it was crazy. So after I spit the verse, worship took place. And here we are in the homeless park, and we hugging each other, right? The joy of the Lord shows up. Miss Tiffany do a verse. My boy Walter Ray sing a song. And next thing you know, you don't know who clean, who dirty, who homeless, who got a house. We loving on each other because the Spirit of God showed up. Off an apology, though. And God sent Miss Tiffany away saying something, saying basically, we are the amplifier. Like, we didn't need a sound system. We are the amplifier that makes noise for the King.
To give you hope, just like he said in his word in Jeremiah 29:11. And I just want to say that even though I have those academic degrees, right now God has given me talents, and he's permissioned me to go out. And I'm also an author, and I published a children's book called Hippos Downtown. You may have saw me on the news, you may have heard me on the radio stations lately, or in a magazine, or in the newspaper. I'm also an actress, and I've appeared on Queen Sugar, and I play Shine's ex-wife on Empire. I've also been on NCIS New Orleans. And so, you know, I'm real, and I'm down home, and I'm about my city, and about the children here in the community. I just recently went on an 8-school tour to Jackson Public Schools promoting literacy and promoting my children's school called Hippos Downtown. So I have a 6-track EP. It's called I Ain't Preaching to the Choir. You just heard a couple of the singles from it, and I just want to encourage you that, you know, I know we all come from, you know, our own walks of life. We have our own experiences, and we have setbacks, and we have challenges sometimes. And when your back is against the wall, you got to learn to push forward. Everything about my life from the beginning of my life said that I should not even be here, or I should have been a statistic, or I shouldn't have failed. But I always prayed since I was a little girl, and I asked God to never let me be a statistic. If you were going to use me for something to glorify you, use me for something positive, Lord, use me to affect the next generation. Let me be effectual. But I found out that I had to be effective in order to be effective. So I went through so much. I know what it's like to grow up in a house where there's domestic violence, and where there's substance abuse, and where there's sexual abuse, and people touching on you. You're scared to tell folks. You know, you don't talk to your parents about it. You grow up, and then you realize when you get about 20 or 21 years old that wasn't right the way they touched me when I was 7 or 8 years old. But guess what? God can heal.
That's right.
God can restore.
That's right.
God can take all of it away, and He can work with you. And He has molded me, He's formed me, He's shaped me to be a better person, and to be protective over the next generation. And to
And you can go kind of crazy on the movement too, in terms of keeping us in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Like this one, crazy.
If I come down now, you catch me, right?
I'm gonna try to hold.
I will try.
Christ. No condemnation, he taking your stripes. Now dust yourself off and he living your life. Grace and mercy till you get it right. Getting the word, that black and that white. Basic instructions before leaving earth. That's what he said, I know you heard.
Quit it. Without excuse, the heavens declare the glory of the Lord. My beating heart is proof. I've been set loose, man, to live for the Master's purpose. My life is yours. May it bring worship. My life is yours. It's yours. I surrender all, prepare to worship in the war. I got my feet to the floor, and I need you, Lord, more than I ever have before. I'm sure my life is yours. What has taken me to a new level is understanding that the football coach couldn't push my button more than God could push my button. Meaning, the football coach would come in the midst of the locker room at halftime in a big game where we down, and he would simply come in and say to us, I don't care how the game ends per se. I want us to win, but I'm more interested in how we play the next half. We ain't played our best game yet. The coach would say this. So when you go back out there, all I want you to do is to leave it all on the field. When we come back to the locker room after the fourth quarter, I want us to be able to look in each other's eyes and say, we gave it everything that we had. Now listen, that's how we're supposed to live.
Right.
I believe we are supposed to enter into heaven like this. Amen. About this thing though.
Yes.
Not tired because I was doing my thing down here, right? Like I want to go home. Jesus said, listen, I have finished the work you have gave me to do.
Yes.
I'm ready to go home now.
Yes.
Paul said, I'm ready to be poured out like a tree. I have done what he has called me to do. Don't you want to go home happy?
Right.
So then that means we have to get to that place of surrender. We have to let, before we take dominion, we got to understand who has dominion. He does, and by his word, placing a demand on our lives. And so, the book of Exodus simply says about God talking to Moses that he says that I have heard the cry of my people. I have seen their affliction. And this is the beauty of God. I know their suffering. Ooh, that is intimacy.
Right.
You can have somebody see what you're going through and don't feel nothing about it. He said, no, to know means intimate, right? Remember the intimacy that Mary talked about with Jesus coming when the angel made the proclamation. Listen, how can this be seen that I know not a man? This wasn't information, no. This was intimacy. Me and a man have not been intimate. I'm still a virgin. She was saying, so know is intimate knowledge. God said, I don't just know from information, oh, I see you over there. No, I intimately know what you're dealing with. I know your thoughts. I know your hurts. I know your pains. And also, I know your future. Because your future is in the word that I'm going to speak over your life. And God said, the word that has been spoken over your life, I'm not going to take it back.
That's right.
Oh, I love God. This is what he says. He says, the Bible says he watches over his word to perform it. Your life can look like it ain't lining up, God, how you said it's supposed to go. You said it, I don't see it yet, but he said just keep watching. Keep watching, because in a moment of time, God can make everything, listen to this, flip upside down. He can take a bad day and make that be a great day. You said that earlier. No matter what you're going through, all things gonna work together for the good. You gotta give us challenges. How you gonna have real faith?
That's right.
If you got everything handed to you, you don't gotta believe for nothing give it to you. You're gonna be spoiled. But the hardness that God allows us to go through teaches us, one, that I am weak. He is strong. That I will be impatient and unfaithful, but God over time will be faithful.
On the grind for the team. Problems on my path, man, it don't change a thing. For Christ we gon' lead, with your help, my brother, sing. Hallelujah. Pick it out what it is, though. Let Jesus be the bridge, go. Across the water to the other side, real slow. Patient, waiting on the wheel of the Lord. Now before I know behind you, stay on the equipment, can't afford to start over. Put light up in the gas.
sweetness in us, but the power in his rap. With the shanks on his brains, for my partners in the hood, it's cold room. I was coming to the west, that all good was stood all the trials and tribulation. The testings of the Lord for the end of salvation. Occupation, pastor, teacher, leader, preacher, rapper, singer, preacher. Mommy, I'm a preacher and an actor of the spirit. Got a word in my brain, I'm like we all hear it. Spirit, Jesus, please take the wheel, cause our folks in the town need something that's real. Hallelujah, the liars pray. Lift up his holy name, yeah. I just wanna hear you say, we go hard in the paint on the grind for the king. Problems on my path, man, don't change a thing. But Christ we gon' land. Brother say, hallelujah, I need y'all help. Say hallelujah. 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 Shout glory to you. Come on, glory to you. What's his name? Say Jesus. Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Say Christ, Christ, Christ. Christ, Christ, Christ. Christ, Christ, Christ. Oh, Father, we give you praise tonight. For the God of our salvation sent his Son to save us. And then he sent the Holy Spirit to call us into that salvation he had already prepared for us. Thank you, Father. And you'll never leave your people nor forsake them. Give me the glory and the praise. Somebody put your hands together for Jesus.
I think one, it's exciting, but not just exciting though. For me, it's a rewarding thing because listen, y'all, like I went into no man's land. I left a full-time salary, man, to go follow God into this mission. Like, all right, God, I know you calling me to do something, and I hear your voice talking to me, and I'm gonna step out in there, and this is where he's led me, and I didn't see this coming. I didn't know I was headed here. I just was trying to honor the voice of the Lord in my life, man. But you have to recognize in your own life that whenever God is interrupting you, whenever God is disturbing your peace in one area where it's been good, God is, he never stops like moving you towards the destiny. Think about it. He says, I know the thoughts that I have towards you. They're thoughts to bring you to peace and not to evil. He says, I want to bring you to an expected end. There's a way God wants our lives to end. I'm not talking death. I'm talking about like purpose, us moving and growing and maturing to become the people he's created us to be. Corporately, we got a collective call. We must be the body, but then you have an individual call. And what I've been learning on this, man, in that individual call, he's not asking for us to be perfect. I've made mistakes. Let me tell you part of the trip too. So not only did we do that, so we were going to Nova Scotia, Canada. After we left Mississippi. This story though. So we went to Canada, and here I am going to seek to take over the world with the gospel. I didn't even know I needed a passport to get to Canada. Like, I've been to Canada before. It's connected to the United States. I mean, I drove to Canada. You don't need all that, so I'm thinking I can fly there without a passport. But the grace of God met us, though, is not only in my assumption when I was wrong, he didn't let me show up on Friday thinking I'm getting on the plane, and they say, sir, you can't do it. So I found out on Monday.
I'm recording this right now because Larry does not have his passport, and we're going to Canada. And I just found this out. It's Tuesday. No, it's Monday. And we're scheduled to fly out to Canada on Friday. I assumed he had a passport. And I'm tripping out on the inside. I said, this is reality TV. And Larry is looking it up. And I might be in Canada by myself this week.
Call my mother, my wife. They work together and get my original birth certificate because I think I can get on the plane with my ID and my birth certificate that I'll be able to fly to Canada when we finish Hammond, Louisiana. We're going to go to Canada for a couple days, premiere the movie. I got to preach at the church on Sunday, so I'm supposed to be there. Well, we get to the airport on Friday in New Orleans, and they say, well, you can't fly without a passport.
It's reality TV.
It's reality TV. It's a struggle, right? Turn the camera the long way so we can be in there for real. Yeah, it's for real, man. Right now, we at the airport trying to figure it out. I'm looking at a post from Emily B. Give me some information. So we're going to see what's going to happen, man. We're going to see what's going to happen. But Lord, we need a way to be made for us right now.
We need
a door open. We don't know what this means right now, but we're going to follow
We're in the airport, and yeah.
That's right. It's a tough moment, man. But this was the journey. Got highs and lows.
I don't even feel like talking about it right now. So this is gonna be something we have to come back and unpack and talk about later.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you can't fly without a passport, and you wasn't going then. So that shut me down. Hey, I was almost in tears. Wait till y'all see the recap video. We did reality TV. It was like camera was on me at that moment. Like, it was a low moment. They said you cannot go. All I thought about was like, I'm supposed to premiere the movie tomorrow. I'm supposed to preach on Sunday morning. And this is like, we can't end the journey here. And they said, well, sir, also, you wasn't going to be able to make it to Canada tonight, no way, because your plane from New Orleans to Newark, New Jersey is delayed, which is going to make you miss your connecting flight in Canada. So you won't get to Canada till tomorrow at 10 if you're trying to fly anyway. So they gave us one hope. Either you could turn around and go home, or you could fly to Newark, New Jersey, and then drive from Newark, New Jersey to Canada, which was a 14-hour drive. And so since that was our one ray of hope, I was like, I'm in. But I wasn't flying by myself. My boy Walter Ray had his passport. Now, we went through a lot of stuff, from me just going home and him going to Canada and premiering the movie with Emily B. And it didn't feel right. And God put us in a place to where our only option was either punk out and not be all in, or actually live up to the name that we claim and we all in for the King. And we willing to drive the 14 hours to get to Canada. But listen, that was going to be a 10-hour drive to the border just to see if I was going to be able to use my birth certificate. Because there's one piece I didn't tell you. Not only did I not have a passport, but while we were in Louisiana, I lost my ID and my ATM card. So I'm like, man, what is wrong? I don't got a passport, and I lose my ID while we in Louisiana. But it was really a setup. So here we are, one shot, gotta drive. It's a lot of other little details, but we got the rental car at 12 midnight. And getting the rental car was a gift because we were struggling with money. Again, I lost my ATM card. My credit card is gone. I can't even get it. My boy had to move some money around to put it on his card, and it wasn't going to be there saying till the next day. But God prevailed. The brother at the counter just said, well, let me just run it. He ran it, said it went through. We looked at each other like, man, God is ordering our steps. So we still got a 10-hour drive from Newark, New Jersey to the Canadian border to see if I could get through customs with not a passport, but a birth certificate and a juvenile hall chaplain ID. That's expired.
Okay, what time is it, bro?
4:42 in the morning. We just on the road, man. Y'all see the highways and the byways, man. We trying to travel over, man, to get to the people in Canada, man. We knocking, so we just praying that God let us through these gates, man. That's all. That God will give us favor at these gates, so we can actually
cross over.
Actually cross on over into the promised land.
To the other side.
Here it is.
This is, yeah, what we doing right now. So
that's right. So it's a faith journey.
Here we go.
That's expired. I'm trying to cross in these times with Trump as our president and all the chaos. I'm trying to cross over into another country with just a birth certificate and an expired juvenile hall ID. I'm hoping, but it's still but I'm willing to go. I say they gonna have to tell me no at the border. They gonna make me assume no all the way in Newark, New Jersey. So we drive. The lady gave us an upgrade on the rental car when she hear our story. So we driving in a big SUV that feel like we in a recording studio. We make about 14 new songs on the ride, but we get to the border. At the border, we tell them our story. The guy say, all right, you got to park, come inside. Now, this is a risky moment. We didn't came this far by faith. Now, they could tell us right now, no, go home. So we give our paperwork. The guy at the counter says, all right, that's enough. Don't tell me no more of the story. Let me go run your license, your FBI report. They finna do a background check for real. And they gotta search the car. But we ain't got nothing, so it's good. So we wait for 45 minutes. The guy's at the desk talking to another brother. They debating back and forth. We see it all. We scared. Because it's like, man, they about to tell us no. We gonna have to go home, cancel the trip. Like, dang it. But he calls me to the counter. And it was wild because there was something from my past that was a mistaken identity that was supposed to have been wiped out that comes up at this moment. When I don't have the real ID, I got just a birth certificate. I'm trying to cross over to the other side. So why would this come up? But that's how the enemy works. He gonna bring up our past and try to make that disqualify me. But the brother look at the two guys that work for the actual customs, look at each other, and the guy he was debating with just said, "Hey man, what's your call?" And the brother looked, and we locked eyes on one another. And in that looking, I felt him melt. I felt God give me him in the sense of, brother, I just told you who I am, what I'm out here to do. I'm going to preach. I ain't out here doing something crazy. But I got all this other stuff that's in the backdrop. He could just say, no, bro, you go back home. But he looked me in my eyes, and I felt it. He just said this. He said, well, man, just make sure you look into all that stuff when you get back to the United States. You talking about shouting? You talking about thank you, Jesus? So we make it to Canada.
We in Canada.
We in this thing now. It's
all like we are here.
Yeah. In Canada.
We are here in Canada.
Amen. Canada, here we come. No,
we overcome.
That's right. Amen. By the blood of the Lamb.
By the blood of the Lamb. Several.
That's right.
Several trials.
Man. Oh, the story is tremendous. Y'all have no
crazy.
idea.
Larry does not have his passport, and we're going to Canada.
Yeah, it's for real, man. Right now, we're at the airport trying to figure it out. I'm looking at a post from Emily B, getting me some information. So we're going to see what's going to happen, man. We're going to see what's going to happen. But Lord, we need a way to be made for us right now.
No idea the joy that's down on the inside
right now.
Us just like
we crossed over.
Yeah, we crossed over. Like there's so many things that could have prevented
wow,
and stopped it all.
So many things.
Yeah, but we in this thing.
Oh
on
my
purpose.
goodness.
This is ascending forth. This is prophetic. This is kind of the squeezing through with your life to get to the place God got for you. This is like, man, we barely made. We lost stuff along the way. Like we barely made it in.
We barely
by
made
thread of grace. That's
grace.
all it was. It's nothing but Him. That's it.
Thread of grace and a bunch of faith.
That's it.
We here. So here we go, Nova Scotia. Here we come, Emily B.
Hey, say hallelujah. Come on, hallelujah. Shout glory to you. Come on, glory to you. What's his name? Say Jesus.
Yeah.
Trust in Him. Do nothing else. Don't even take another step. Just let Him carry you.
Hey. That's right.
All right, praise the Lord. What's up, fam? I just want to give y'all some love. Thanks for y'all prayers, man. We made it to Nova Scotia, Canada yesterday, and it was a blessing, man. We left New Jersey about midnight on what is that, Friday, and made it to Canada about 4 p.m. on Saturday. You know, and so it was about a 14-hour ride, and I'm talking about a supernatural grace was on us on this journey. I'm talking about no tiredness. We laughed, talked, music. The Lord just took us in. We stopped a couple times, had a couple breathers, had to stop at the Border Patrol. God gave us grace to make it through that. And it's just, man, God's goodness, man, is been appearing on the whole trip. So thank y'all for y'all prayers. I'm gonna go preach this morning. Last night was amazing. Had a chance to premiere the movie and share some of the music and ministry with Sister Emily B out here, man. And so it was just major love, man. So we're grateful. And again, thanks for all your prayers. New Beginnings Worship Center. We're worshiping with them today. They've been hosting us, and so getting a chance to meet folks in a whole nother country, man. That's vibing with what God put in you. Like, that's a blessing to see God, you know, use you to touch other people, man, that you never met, never knew you was gonna meet. And like, He's using you, man, to be a blessing to them and get them stirred about his work, His mission in their life, right? I may never see some of these people again, but God will use me in this moment, man, to bless and to be blessed back by, right? You know what I'm saying? So stay encouraged, man. That was a tough moment for us about the plane situation and couldn't get to Canada with the delays and all of that. We was gonna miss it. And we was just like, man, we drive. We all in nation. We gonna get there, man. How far? 14 hours? We'll do it. Let's go. And God met us, gave us an upgrade on the rental car. We was riding luxury, man. God just did it for us, man. Took us all the way in. And I'm grateful, man. So thank y'all again for y'all prayers, man. Me and Walter Ray have been carried by grace. It's been a witness to us from God that he is with us in this mission. And so y'all stay tapped in with us, man. God bless.
You don't eat by yourself. We eat as a family. So the kola nut you brought is enough to get around everybody in this church today. Just to welcome you. Amen. And number two, we are going to drum up support for you.
Amen.
You in African way. Are you ready? Are you ready?
from 1995 when I was on New Year's Eve night, 2017, crossing over into 2018. I found the journal where I wrote that information of the day God saved me and what I said to him. I found it. And God told me to record a movie documenting where I came from, where I am right now, and then what I'm being called to do. Because at that journey was my life being taken and given to God, saying, all right, God, you just awakened me. I'm yours, and I'll be a good guy. I'll go out into this world and I'll tell people, follow your dreams, go to school, work hard, and that'll be great. And he said, that's not enough. If you only help people for this life, you haven't really helped them at all. Everybody in the world is going to die, Larry. That's not scary. That's the reality of where every journey is headed, which is why he said that's why Christ came. Because they can't come up here without him. And so there's a bigger mission than just football for your life. And when God called and rested me, the scripture that came was that I may know him. You know a lot of stuff in this world, Larry, but you don't know who I am. And since you don't know who I am, you don't know who you are. The Bible says that every gift and calling of God is without repentance. What God has put in us is already in there. You don't even have to be saved to get it. It's down on the inside, but it's giving it back to God as the foundation to say, here I am, God. Here's the thing I know you put in me. Here it is, back given to you. Now you use it how you would decide to use it. That is our purpose and our calling. God is after something in this world, and we have to be about the master's business. Am I right about that? I feel like I've been given a burden to share something with us because the church is in a day and time where this world is in a state of chaos. And it's on purpose. There will never be peace in this world. In the world you will have tribulation, but he says, in me you will have peace. So he's not trying to get us to fix the world per se. He's trying to get people out of the world and into him. And if we get into him while we're in the midst of tribulation, he'll keep us in perfect peace. So the hope of the world is not fix the world and we find comfort and ease. The hope for the world is to rest in Christ and in his finished work. And so we have a mandate. That's what brings me to Nova Scotia. I've been burdened by God to take the gospel in a way that there's a group of people he has his eye on that, like, go get them for me. Like, because what we have to recognize, and our sister said it earlier today in prayer, that we are the church. This is a school. They play basketball, they eat lunch. There's all kind of stuff happening here. This ain't the church. But the church is sitting in here. The church is present. The people who believe the testimony is here. And so God says, I'm calling the church into activity. He said, I looked and I behold, I saw a multitude from every nation, kindred, tribe, and tongue who are gathered around the throne. He is looking out into the future of eternity, seeing that God has a people that he's brought through the difficulties in life and the hardships and the bad stuff and the hills and the valleys and the challenges and those difficult moments. God has a people who made it through that, and they are seated with him in his presence. He says he looked forward and he saw that's what God is working towards. That's the trajectory of life and humanity. And so I want to be involved in what God is doing. If what God is doing really counts, if it really matters, if that's the only thing that matters, then I want to be found doing his will. Then the church has an assignment. Then if the people of God are there from every nation, kindred, tribe, and tongue, then we have to turn around and say, if that's where it's all headed, then what should we be doing so that that is filled with all of the people God is looking for? There are some people who are out there. They are not coming in here. They won't come in here. They're not looking for here. They don't even know what here is. But listen to this. Here must be taken to where they are, because we are in here and we know what has called us in here and what gives us power as we rise up out of here to go and live a brand new life out there. We gotta go share that. We don't want to just talk the gospel. We want to walk the gospel. We want the gospel to come out of us. We want to live in a way that says he has transformed me. What are one of the ways we say that he has transformed me? When he becomes the greatest object of my desire. One of the ways I boast in him is by having him supreme above everything else. I have said in my life, I'm not going to let rappers who rap about money and sex and cars and all of that stuff have more passion than I have about Jesus. Y'all not finna be more turned up about that than to perish than I am about the King who causes us to live for eternity. You not finna outpassion me when we have the truth. And so I simply hear God saying to us, we have to stand up and recognize you got power. You are the answer to the world's problem. I've put my blessing on the church. The people of God have seen who I am, and you know the way. Now go out back into the difficulties, not afraid of the difficulties. You got power to overcome the difficulties, to walk through difficulties and get to the other side. There are people who need you. Do you not know somebody's waiting on you to be the you that God has called you to be? Waiting on you to come into yourself and recognize who you are and what God has given you, to blow your trumpet and beat your drum to the glory of the King. That people are waiting, they stuck right now, waiting on you to pass by with the joy of the Lord in you, that you might give them what has freely been given to you. Like that's important. I want you to hear something before I go forward, and we're going to close in a second, but would you hear the heart of this verse? I pray that it is yours. My life, his purpose. I was called to live worship. I see the glory of the King. Now I'm going to die in his service. Even though my heart thirsted after everything but the King. Now I'm addicted like a fiend. You know what I mean? I've been called to bring the gospel to these cold streets. Because all I know is if you know Jesus, you know peace. But there's no peace for the wicked and the hypocrite. And I would have died both of those without the Savior's gift. It brought a major shift.
So I hit the gas pedal. I didn't know that God was in it like Jacob at Bethel. I'm on another level. I'm warring with the devil. God is going to settle. I surrender my vessel. My life is yours. It's yours. I surrender all, prepare to worship in the war. I got my feet to the floor, and I need the Lord more than I ever have before. I'm sure my life is yours. It's yours, Father. While you're there, let me take you a little further in that. The way is the path. Yes, the journey or the course that God describes for his people. One day I heard his voice. My eyes got moist, tasted glory down in my soul. I got intimate with the king, that made your boy whole. New goals in life. Loyalty to Christ. Teamed up with my wife to lead our kids in the light, and then step into the night to preach the gospel, pray for thunderclaps. No man knows the hour or the day, but Jesus coming back. He ain't having none of that. Sinful man without excuse, the heavens declare the glory of the Lord. My beating heart is proof. I've been set loose, man, to live for the master's purpose. My life is yours. May it bring worship. My life is yours. We give you praise because you called all of us and equipped us to go for you. And so I simply prepare to close with this thought. If that's the vision of people who are called.
Hey, so as we prepare to close this movie, something is really important for us that you hear, so that you might have the opportunity to ask God, should you lean in with us? Should you be all in with us? All In Nation is simply saying we're going to surrender ourselves to the call of God. And what we're going to do is travel around this country twice a month to different cities. And we're calling them partnership cities, where we got relationships established. We got a church that's waiting to receive us, that hasn't been to the streets that we go to, but we're going to take those churches and those communities to the streets in a fresh way, and help churches be strengthened inwardly to reach out to the streets, pour out the love of God on the streets, and just go out simply to be a blessing, using our music and the preaching gifts God has given us as a foundation. So what I'm asking you to do is to lean in with us. Now, this is crazy. God asked me, as I celebrate 23 years of walking with him, to ask the body, right? People who know me, know us, right? The people who are tapped into this movement, to ask the people who love us and care about us, to lean in with us and say, listen, God has given us a vision, and actually it's a dream for most of us to do this, to use our gifts in this way, and then use them for God. Oh man, we amazed by this opportunity, but we need your help. He told me to ask you, for the 23 years I've been walking with him, for 1 year, 12 months, to give us $23 a month. Now that was like, okay, Lord, that's clear. And I sat with that for about 2 weeks. We're going to ask him for $23 a month. But then he said, what if somebody say, I want to give you the whole 12 months right now? I said, how much is it? I had to do my math. I had to go back multiplication timetables. Well, I found out that's $276. Immediately at the traffic light, God says, turn to Psalm 27:6. I turn and listen to what this verse says. This is what it says. It says to us, then my head will be exalted above my enemies who surround me. At the sacred tent, I will sacrifice with shouts of joy, and then I will sing and make music unto the Lord. Now I was like, man, if that ain't God talking to me, like when you lean in with us and help us, it says then, not before. It's almost like, God, you can do this by yourself. Why I gotta wait till they lean in? He said, because I want it to be a move of my body. I don't want to just give you one from one person and then you go out and then nobody else really pays attention to what I call y'all to do. I want to give you the people first, and then I want the people to give you the resources and the support, the prayer, the encouragement, and the doors of opportunity in those cities. And then when you got the people and all that they possess, now go get the lost. Go get your brothers and sisters. So I need y'all to lean in with us. This is God's movement for us. Then will my head be exalted above my enemies. What are my enemies? Lack, not enough resources, the struggle of trying to have a million decisions to make when we trying to do something. Like I've been grinding. We been shooting music videos with sale, like we've been working. But God said, I'm bringing y'all to a place where we gonna just do some quality stuff now. We graduate. I'm telling you, 23 years, I'm going pro. So I need you to help resource us so that we could go give ourselves away for the glory of the King and for the hope of his lost people. Psalm 27:6 is the blessing we're asking you to lean in and be all in with us as we travel this nation for the glory of the King.
My life is purpose, called to live worse. I've seen the glory of the King, I'ma die in his service. Even though my heart thirsted after everything but the King, now I'm addicted like a fiend. Know what I mean? I called to bring the gospel to these cold streets, cause all I know is that if you know Jesus, you know peace. There's no peace for the wicked and the hypocrite, and I would've died both of those without the Savior's gift. It brought a major shift, so I hit the gas pedal, and I didn't know that God was in it like Jacob at Bethel. I'm on another level, I'm more than what the devil got a score to settle. I surrender my vessel. It's yours, I surrender all, prepare to worship in the wall. Got my feet to the floor, need the Lord more than I ever have before, I'm sure. My life is yours, it's yours. I surrender all, prepare to worship in the wall. I got my feet to the floor, I need the Lord more than I ever have before. My life is yours, it's yours. I surrender all, prepare to worship in the wall. I got my feet to the floor, I need the Lord more than I ever had before, I'm sure. I said the way is the path, yeah, the journey or the course. The God prescribes for us people, one day I heard his voice. My eyes got moist, tasted glory down in my soul. I got intimate with the King and made your boy whole. New goals in life, loyalty to Christ. Teamed up with my wife to lead our kids in the light, and then step into the night to preach the gospel, pray for thunderclaps. No man, no hour or the day, but Jesus coming back. He ain't having none of that. Sinful man without excuse. The heavens declare the glory of the Lord. My beating heart is proof. I've been so close to live for the Master's purpose. My life is yours, may it bring worship. My life is yours. I surrender all, prepare to worship in the Lord. Got my feet to the floor, need the Lord more than I ever had before, I'm sure. My life is yours, it's yours. I surrender all, prepare to worship in the wall. I got my feet to the floor, I need the Lord more than I ever had before. My life is yours, it's yours. I surrender all, prepare to worship in the wall. I got my feet to the floor, I need the Lord more than I ever had before, I'm sure. It's yours, in the midst of the war, in the midst of the war. Need the Lord more than I ever had before. My life is yours, yours. I surrender all, prepare to worship in the wall. I need my feet to the floor, need the Lord more than I ever had before, I'm sure. My life is yours.
Oh, you, Lord Jesus!